There we go. Good morning. You'll need one blanket for class today. And let's get started. So we will just begin at the wall. My most favorite way to begin my own yoga practice right now. And you'll just sit on your blanket. If you need to fold it over so it's a little taller so that your pelvis and hips feel comfortable, please do so. Make it as tall as you need. And then just allow your head, the very back of your head, to press against the wall. And everyone has hips that are completely different sizes, so just get as close to the wall as is comfortable for you. And then you'll bring both your hands down to either side of you, where your fingertips just barely touch the ground, but they're reaching as far away from you as they can while still touching the ground. And then as your head gently presses back, do the same with your shoulders. And then just allow yourself a moment to simply rest here, eyes open to closed, whatever you'd like to choose. And as you breathe here, notice your sit bones, the two sit bones beneath you, how they feel resting on the blanket. And if you can invite your hips to soften any amount more, same thing with the tailbone softens down a little bit, so the lower back gets a little closer to the wall. And then just explore your breathing here, deepening the normal rhythm that's a little bit shorter, a little bit faster, usually more interrupted. Each time you notice something, a part of your body lift away from the wall, it's just incredible to notice, to witness, and just bring it back. A little bit closer, shoulders kind of reach down and back towards the wall to help stretch out the neck a little bit. And we're going to do a couple rounds of pranayama, or breathing practice this morning. And it's going to be simple. It's going to breathe in for 4 seconds. Pause and retain the breath for 4 seconds, and then exhale for 6 seconds. So exploring a slightly longer exhale. So, and if breathing practices don't work great for you, they're uncomfortable, please just stick with your normal breathing rhythm, that's fine. If you'd like to, breathe in, full breath. And just let it go all the way out. And then inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause, sit bones soften down, and exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold the breath for just a moment. And exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause and retain your breath. Notice what parts of your body feel like they have sensationally moved away from the wall. And just bring that contact back into play. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more rounds. Breathe in, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Notice what has happened to your posture or your shape as you've breathed in, which can relax the pelvic floor if you really allow it, and explore that. And then notice what happens as you exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. Breathe in, 4, 3, 2, 1. Really let your belly or your abdomen relax and sip in a little bit more air. And then exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn your head to the left side. Even lift it away from the wall for a moment to turn it all the way to the left. Keep that right shoulder reaching back to the wall. Right fingertips reaching as far away from you as they can. And then just ever so slightly tilt your chin down toward your left shoulder. No need to count the breath, but explore breathing deeply into that right arm, right shoulder, right side of the neck, where you might be feeling a little bit of stretching happening. Have a way of using your breath to help you move and release the muscles there. And trust the systems of your own body, simply breathing to help relax and release tension from the rest of life. Witnessing what is here and now. One more full breath in on this side. And then exhale, switch right over to the other side. Look to the right and tilt your chin a little bit down towards the shoulder. Doesn't even have to be much to really get that stretch down the left side to happen. Full belly breath in, relax your core, pelvic floor softens. You can feel like the muscles around your hips and your hip socket. One more full breath in and let it go out. Bring your head back through the middle. Lift up both your arms and make goalpost arms. Cinch in the waist so your core muscles squeeze in toward the belly button. And that even starts from inner thigh muscles a little bit too, so you might feel the legs engage as you engage the core. And then press your elbows and your hands back towards the wall. If the elbows don't reach the wall, that's fine. See if you can tilt the fingers back a tiny bit from there. The whole hand, not a finger fist, but a straight wrist. And then as you inhale, lift your arms up. So if you're making snow angels and your elbows will want to pull away from the wall, invite them to just stay a little closer, whatever that range of motion feels like to you. Exhale, elbows down by your sides. And breathe in and lift. Notice if there's a spot as you move back and forth with your breath. There's a spot where your elbows want to move a little further away from the wall, or a spot that is carrying a little extra, just a little extra tension usually. Discomfort of some kind. And then to lift and exhale, elbows down. Inhale. And exhale. Breathe in. And breathe out. Last two. Back of the head stays against the wall, or reaching toward it if that space feels really tight. And last one, arms up. And then exhale, elbows down by your sides. Relax, relax your shoulders. Go ahead and move away from the wall. If your knees are at all tender when you're on your yoga mat, you're super welcome to just unfold your blanket so it's a much thinner pile and give your knees a little extra cushion. And then fingers spread really wide. And just take a moment to try to lift all 10 fingers or 4 fingers and then 2 thumbs off the yoga mat. Just notice what that feels like. And really begin to press into the index finger, the mound of the index finger, without lowering fingertips down. You can have your weight back a little bit as you explore this too. You're not dumping into the wrists. And with the index finger mound pressing down, we'll stretch over into the mound of the thumbs as well. And press the thumb mound down, but keep the thumbs up. And then from there, stretch over into the pinky finger mound. Connect all of those. My forearms are working quite hard already. And then it's like you're pulling the 3 in towards the middle of your palm. And then with the full length of your exhale, you can think of that 6 count. Slowly press your knuckles all the way down as well, but keep the activity of the palm. And then breathe in, cow pose. And as you exhale, it's not just going straight to cat pose, it's slowly gathering in the muscles of the lower abdomen. You start to squeeze those ever so slightly, and then more and more, really bringing those muscles to full activation or maximum effort to help you round into your cat pose, inviting that to really happen from the lower belly. And then breathe in, cow pose, abdomen relaxes, heart holds forward, hands really activate and draw your shoulders back, and your elbows can bend a little bit and reach back towards your knees. And then again, exhale, lower abdomen starts to squeeze, 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 all the way to maximum effort to round your spine. Elbows keep trying to reach back instead of out to the sides. Breathe in, cow pose. And then exhale, cat pose by gathering in the abdomen, feeling the movement, the spaces in between the two shapes that we often already know and have pictured in our minds. And then relax your hands, sit back on your heels, rotate your wrists for a moment. Left hand down by your side, right arm reaches up and over, and breathe into the right side. Let your tailbone soften down as you do so, instead of lifting up and creating an arch in the spine. It's length here, breathe in. Switch sides. And often the natural instinct is to tip the pelvis forward here, but we want to keep the sit bones rooting down. And just big side stretch, breathe in. And breathe out. Letting your lovely Thursday morning be whatever it is. And noticing how things just feel today. Hands come back down to the yoga mat. Reach your right leg back behind you. Left toes can be tucked under or untucked, either one. Reach the right toes down towards the ground and press out through the heel. And then gather in that strength from the lower abdomen again. It won't round your spine as much with the leg reaching back, but it'll support your body. We'll inhale. And then just tilt your foot side to side. And notice what, very slowly, so you can notice what happens to the outer hip, what happens to your core as you move. And if you tend to look forward and shorten the back of your neck while you're practicing, just create a little length there. Find one spot to gaze at on the floor, and use that focus to help you witness what is going on with your muscles within. Your supports that so heavily tied in with how you use the eyes. And the toes point down. Reach the toes over to the left side of your yoga mat. Option to crawl the right hand a little further forward or leave it where it's at, and then gaze all the way over the left shoulder towards that right foot. Again, if your natural instinct is to relax your spine and just soften here, keep the core gathered in and get a little more of a side stretch that way down the right side. And then slowly lift up onto the tiptoes of that right foot. And then float the foot up off the ground. Breathe in. Right hand comes back underneath you. Left arm reaches up over the ear. Full inhale. And then as you exhale, your foot and your arm move out to the sides. So to the right and to the left. And then lower that right foot down to the ground. And reach your left arm all the way underneath the right arm to where you almost set your head and your shoulder down to the ground, but not quite. Gather in those muscles of the lower abdomen. And then lift your foot and your hand all the way back to reaching full length. Breathe in here. And then exhale to move out to the side. And then left arm underneath the right arm. One more time through that movement. Go slow. Notice the support of your right hand. Arm and leg reach back, core gathers in. You should feel that right outer hip squeeze too. And then exhale. Leg to the side. Left arm moves underneath the right arm. And this time you're welcome to relax your head and your shoulder down to the ground. If it's comfy for you, I invite you to find a little spinal twist by reaching the right arm up overhead. You can also do the same up over your ear. It's a little more gentle on the twist that way. Breathe in and breathe out. And then bring your right hand back down by your face. And very slowly, everything lifts all the way back up. Lengthens out. Leg behind you, arm up by the ear. And then exhale, set your hand down. Bring your knee all the way into your chest. Squeeze your core. And then come up onto the right fingertips to help you scooch that right foot forward. And maybe inch it all the way forward. Roll up onto the heel of the right foot. Your knee can be a little bit bent here. It doesn't have to be straight to stretch the hamstrings. Heart reaches forward. Your fingers can pull back on the yoga mat to help invite that action. And think of rotating the eye of your elbows so that they face forward. So the elbow armpit, the elbow pit. And then right heel presses down and pulls back. And then slowly set your right foot down to the ground. And it's similar to what we did with our hands. The big toe mound really presses into the floor and the big toe squeezes the floor. And then we explore bringing that same gripping, not really gripping with the heel, but pressure into the outer heel and the pinky toe mound of the foot to really get the stirrup of the foot fully activate. And then right arm lifts up to the sky. Press weight into that right heel, and right knee is moving out to the right to help get your outer hip a little more active here. Cinching your waist, and then rotate from your upper body a little more. Breathe in, and then exhale. Both right hand back down to the ground. Tuck your back toes, lift up the knees. And then walk your hands forward a little bit. And notice that right foot and your fingertips. Maybe pull all your fingertips in toward one another. Lift up onto the very tip toes of the left foot. And so slowly float that left foot up toward the sky and let your head hang down. But stabilize through that right leg. Big toe, pinky toe mound, outer heel. The right knee is trying to dial outwards. So right knee moves out to the right instead of caving inward. Press out through the left heel like you're trying to make that entire left leg so much longer. Gather in the core muscles. Notice all these chains, these pieces of connection that work together for you to support you. And step your left foot slowly up to meet the right. Breathe in. Halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, rise all the way up. Lift up your arms. And exhale, palms together at your heart. Inhale, arms lift. And exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, lift up halfway. And pull right back down. Bring your hands kind of up to your knees, and we're going to lift up halfway one more time. But first, squeeze the floor with both your big toes. Pinky toe mound reaches outer heel. And then it's as if you're pressing both your feet apart on the yoga mat. Cinch in the waist to help begin lifting your whole torso up to that halfway lift. And then lengthen your heart forward. Shoulders draw away from the ground. Chin draws in towards your throat. Nice long spine here. And then exhale, slowly, slowly fold back down. Soften the knees. And then hands set down. Step your feet back, plank pose. And for a moment here, just shift side to side. Rock the pelvis. Maybe explore that hand activation again if your hands aren't too tired. And then both knees lower down to the ground. Find the three mounds of your hand, the index finger, the thumb, the pinky finger mounds. Squeeze them towards one another as you grip the mat with your fingertips. And then relax your hands. Once more, find those three mounds, draw them in towards one another, full activation. Grip the mat with your fingertips. Bend your elbows a little bit. Core squeezes. And then your elbows, wrap them back. So the pointy part of your elbow points back behind you instead of out to the sides. Reach your heart forward a little bit. Low abdomen supports the lower back. You can tell whenever I let mine go because this happens. And then exhale. Slowly lower, elbows pointing back. Shoulder blades squeeze together. And tuck the toes. Squeeze the legs together so much that your buns activate. And then lift your hands and your chest and your head. Breathe in. And breathe out. Tuck your toes. Lift all the way up and back to downward facing dog. Pedal the legs out. And then both knees lower down to the ground. And sit back on your heels for a moment. Clasp your wrists together. Give your wrists a good little rotation. Notice what your breathing feels like. Mine's a little bit heavier right now. And then allow your hands to just rest in your lap for a moment. Notice and witness what each side of your body feels like. You just worked a little more with one side of the body. Does it feel any different than the other side? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but just observe the sensations that you feel within as you're just pausing, inviting yourself and giving yourself a moment of witnessing, a moment of resting into what is here and now. Breathe a full breath. I had a teacher the other day say, and we're often so busy thinking, what's next, what's next, what's next, what's next, what's next. And instead, can we start to shift that into what is here, what is here, what is here, what is happening right now, what can I do now, and what can I rest into now. The choices and the expansiveness that comes with being present. Hands come back down onto your yoga mat. Left leg reaches back behind you. Cinch in the lower abdomen. This will also help keep that left hip from lifting higher than the right. There's a little support there for the pelvis and the spine. And then same thing, just rotate your foot in and out. If your hands and wrists are feeling exhausted, you could always make them into this. And just side to side. Toes point down and then rock like a little fan. Notice how that feels to the left leg. And then right arm reaches up over your ear. Really gather the lower abdomen in. And then as you exhale, that sturdy part of your breath, move your arm and your leg out to the sides. Set your foot down to the ground. And then reach your right arm. And as you reach, notice if your left arm, the elbow wants to flare out to the side. And draw it in so your shoulder blade, the muscles around your shoulder blade are helping here. Reach that right arm under. And then squeeze your core, lift up onto the tiptoes of that left foot. Lift it up. And then slowly reach everything back out long. Exhale out to the sides. And then set it down. Leave the arm under. One more time through that. Go slow. Notice where the wobble happens and movements that are unfamiliar. So you know that your body is learning how to execute these movements or explore these movements. Arm out to the side, leg out to the side. And then this time, that right arm, right shoulder gets to settle down. Even in this shape, you can kind of explore the tilt of your pelvis, pivot forward and back or side to side to help find what that left leg, left thigh, outer hip are needing. And by needing, I mean finding that sweet spot that's a little bit tighter. You need a little more TLC to breathe into, help move the muscles and the fascia around. You're welcome to reach the left arm up or crawl it all the way forward over your head or keep it in by your side. Steady breath. One more inhale. And then exhale, left hand down by your face. Bring your right hand next to the left, so both hands on the ground. Cinch in the waist, lift that left foot up, and slowly reach it all the way back. Breathe in, and as you exhale, I'm going to try not to bump my kitty here. Hug your knee into your chest, and then come up onto the fingertips of that left hand to help get the left heel forward, and then you can just inchworm it forward. I always kind of like the inchworming motion. Roll up onto the heel of your left foot, toes point up. And then heel presses down and pulls back to help find that stretch of the hamstring. And if your spine is rounded this way, fingertips, get up high on your fingertips, pull your heart forward, and your shoulders and your hands kind of pull back. Breathe in, breathe out. Think of your left hip, the left side of your pelvis, reaching that side down towards the ground. And then bend your left knee, set your foot to the floor. Cinch in your waist. Really, really squeeze it in and lift the left arm up to the sky. And get your right butt to really squeeze here to support you and to work with that lower abdomen in the rotation. One spot to gaze at. Can be up, can be down on the ground. And then left hand moves down to the ground. Tuck your back toes under, lift up the knee. You can kind of just shift a little bit side to side for a moment here. And then both hands walk a little bit further forward of that left foot. Start to shift your weight forward so you come up onto the very tiptoes of that right leg. Left foot, your big toe mound, your pinky toe mound, and the outer heel all really press into the floor so the knee dials outward. And then slowly lift that right leg up. I feel like the slower I go, the much more effort movements require, because it's really exercising that space in between, noticing the here and nowness of those spaces in between instead of just going from shape to shape or goal to goal. Head hangs down, lift your leg high, but really stay in tune with that left foot, left leg, knee dials out, and make that right leg as long as you can. Really press out through the heel. Full inhale, and then exhale. Enjoy the journey. Step your right foot to the top of the mat. Breathe in halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, stand all the way up. Lift up your arms. And then exhale, palms together, right at your heart. Pause here, breathe here. Notice your feet. Notice your shoulders. And then as you feel ready, you'll make your way all the way down to your mat. You can move your blanket out from underneath you. And then we'll just recline all the way onto your back. Right ankle crosses over the left thigh. And then just draw both legs in a little closer so the left foot lifts off the ground. Press your ankle into your thigh. Ankle presses into your thigh, and your thigh presses back, creating a little resistance. Not maximum effort, but just gentle effort here. And then go ahead and switch left ankle over the right thigh. And same thing here. Side's always much tighter for me, so it's harder to bring it closer. So just go where you need to be. Ankle and knee press into one another. You need to keep your right foot on the ground. Keep it on the ground. And then unwind the legs. Both feet set down on the ground and your heels come in kind of close to your sit bones. You'll reach your hands down to either side and palms down. And then you'll reach your left hand toward your left heel. Maybe grab on, maybe it's just a more of a reach toward that heel. And then you turn your head over to the right side. Create a little stretch here on the left side of the neck and the shoulder. And tilt your chin or your ear toward the right shoulder. You can kind of lift your head a little bit and move it over to the right a little bit more to help stretch the left side. And just go here. And then we'll just switch sides. Right hand reaches for the right ankle, maybe grabs it, maybe just stays reaching. And your head looks to the left. Allow the right shoulder to kind of relax down towards the floor. And just full inhale and full exhale. Noticing what really works within your torso to invite the full breath, to exercise. You're really getting some of those core muscles to exercise when you do a full inhale and full exhale. Everything gathers in from your pelvic floor to your diaphragm. Those all work together with the core muscles to press air out of your body. It's not just the diaphragm. And then the inhale helps invite full range of motion of all those muscles. If you fully relax your belly and your abdomen and inhale, then the pelvic floor can completely relax and release and find the full range of motion in the same way like a bicep would. Often the pelvic floor is just held tight all the time and needs to relax to be stronger. And then bring your head back through the middle. And you're welcome to stay here in this shape for your Shavasana or lay flat on your back. You can even crisscross applesauce the ankles. And then place your hands wherever you'd like. Under your head, out to the sides. You can even create a gigantic star shape with your body and reach your arms and your legs out wide. I like to call that pancaking. Notice what just helps you feel a little more just effortless and held by the ground. And more this sense of weightlessness as you just witness your whole body resting after effort. And still being with yourself through that resting. Today is a day where your mind just has a lovely amount of chatter happening. Just watch it, notice it. Soften your shoulders, your jaw, even that little crease right between the eyebrows. Maybe explore using each exhale as a tool to really invite your body to be supported, to receive support from the ground beneath you. Hold, breath in, let your release out. Let it go all the way out. Like full body stretch, you can toes to the fingertips. And then as you feel ready, you come back up to seated. Unless there's a cat laying on your stomach, that's a little bit harder. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining today. Hope you have a lovely